Okay, so it should be live. Hopefully everything is working. That's not what I wanted to do. Move this a little closer and make sure. Come on, there we go. Oh, good. This app doesn't give me the live feed. Yay. Well, at least I'll see if it's still working or not. No, don't need that. We'll see how it goes. Alrighty, so just started the live stream and gonna give it a couple minutes, see who shows up. If not, I'll just start doing the unboxing of this thing, which I am chomping at the bit to get to. So I know I'm a minute or two early, but it is what it is. So hopefully people will be able to hear me. Got one watching. I think it's myself. Oh. All right. Let's see if I can not mess with this just a little more. If not, I may have to go to my phone. I think I may need to go to my phone. Will you give me a live feed of what is going on? Yay, that has the live chat, so I'm just going to use that instead. That's not going to work, is it? You know, as a prop maker, I should figure out a solution for this by now. Ay. And if I can just... that will work. Alrighty. So just me on the stream right now. So giving it a minute or two, and then we're going to start the review here. So. Alrighty. My God, it's getting cold. Okay. I'll give it another 45 seconds and the review will start. So if you're rewatching this, sorry for the delay. I just wanted to make sure I gave people a chance to get here so they didn't really miss much. So hope everyone's doing well, staying warm. I'm going to start. All right. So going live this week, the new Rival Takedown blasters got put up on Target's website, and I decided to pick up the one that I really wanted, which was the Takedown. It looked like a rough cut, and it looked like a combination of that and the Reaper from Overwatch, which I do have over here. So I'll do a small little compare and contrast once this is out of the package, and you know what, let's just do that now. So it's got a couple of plastic ties holding it down. 4 to be exact. And then once, that's nice. Oh, this is nice. It is freed very easily. The arrival rounds are in this little spot here. So I gotta say, the packaging for this is kind of minimalistic, which I'm actually okay with. And that's really all that's in there is the blaster. This, you don't even have to really open the packaging to get this out. So there's that. You do get 8 rival rounds, which is what this does take. And I have to say, I am pleasantly surprised with this. This handle is extremely nice. This up front grip, very nice as well. Just going over the aesthetics of it is, it's very minimalistic, honestly. You have, the only real paint on it is the rival logo, which is right there. You do have you have rival embedded there and on this side, and on the priming slide you have XX800 on both sides as well. So honestly, stripping this down for painting is going to be fairly simple. The front grip is, oh, that's loud. Front grip is very smooth, but it does actually have a lip back here. So while I have heard people complaining about the grip being a little smooth and just a hand slipping off or whatnot, it really isn't that bad, because if you're wearing gloves or anything on your hands, but if regardless, the lip here would actually keep your hand from really sliding off unless you just had a very light grip on it. It should hold 8 rounds, which it comes with. So load it up and just see how it goes. Okay. 7 and 8. And which way do I fuck? It's gonna hit me in the face, I know it, but oh, it's nice. Very responsive. Wow. And you can reload on the fly very easily. So that's definitely going for it. The aesthetics on it, like I said, I'm very pleased with this. The design of it is very nice. I like how they kept the little Chronos holes right up the front here. You do not have anything, much like on the Reaper Blaster, you do not have anything blocking here, so there is no door like on the Chronos. This is, I honestly really have no idea what this is. It's got no grooves in it, so it's really not a sight. I know some people were saying it's a carryover from the Reaper Blaster, but honestly, I really don't see it like that. You do have your safety, which is over here, and instead of a button, it's actually even though it is a button, it's actually a switch. So move it forward to block your trigger, slide it back to unrelease it, and it is not ambidextrous. So you only have it on the one side, which it's not left-handed friendly, but not much in Nerf is, which is sad and annoying. Huh. Okay, so one thing I'm noticing though, this well here for the actual priming slide, it's actually very wide. Uh, yeah, she is, Donnell. I am honestly very impressed with this one. So I mean the slide, you can actually see all of the internals in it, which honestly I don't know how I feel about that, because if you're running around in a field or whatever, you could very well get dirt in here, which that would be extremely annoying. But let me just empty this out. Yep, and that's it. So hey, what's wrong with Team Blue? The only reason I got the red one is because it's the only one available. But for a size comparison, since it has been compared to the Reaper shotgun quite a bit since its release, it's actually way shorter. So on my cutting mat here, I have both blasters lined up on the edge here, and the Reaper shotgun is at least a good inch bigger, and it's definitely on the wider side. It's definitely a taller blaster. The handles are about the only thing that are the same size, and it does make up for this little weird bit on the Reaper blaster. It does make up for it on that one, on the takedown itself. The grip itself is very nice, very reminiscent of a mare leg, if you want to go with that. And I've actually been kind of staring at this for like the last minute or so, and I just realized your de-priming safety here is yellow. I don't know why, because everything on this thing is either red, orange, or black. It's weird that they would mold a internal piece something totally and completely different. But yeah, so, and it also does have the tack rails on top. If you will bear with me, yellow is cheaper, probably. They ran out of orange filament. Give me 1 second. I'm going to see if I can actually find my. Up there. Is it here? I should have thought about this sooner. Damn. Okay, so I was looking for my Rivals Red Dot site, and we're in the process of rearranging the workshop, and by we I mean me and Arlene. And I also have turned half my workshop into Christmas storage, so I can't get to half of my stuff. NorCal Nerf Club. Hey, depending on how you ordered it, I ordered these. I think it was Wednesday. I ordered a pair of these. I have this one. I have another one up on the shelf at the moment. I ordered these on Wednesday, and surprisingly, it got here very quickly. At least from Target. Oh, and I also just noticed sling mount right there. So you can sling mount this thing. I'd say this is probably small enough to where you could get a nice holster for it too. But you know what? I think we got enough people here. Let's open this bad boy up. Now, in my normal review videos, this is where I would tell you, for sake of time, I've already unscrewed this, but since this is all live and going forward, you're just going to have to suffer with me while I unscrew this stupid thing. So, sorry about that. In case I need to put screws somewhere. Aha. So, priming handle has 3 screws, 2 at the bottom, and 1 actually in the faux, I guess, rivet point up there. So, it's kind of neat. And it will also be hiding 1 screw down there. So, I have my little drawer here just in case I need to take any of the actual screws out, but I am actually going to try and keep them in the blaster just so I do not have to worry about them getting confused. Oh yeah, I already got a color scheme planned out for this. Oh yeah, no worry, builder. Let's just say I kind of have a theme going with the stuff that I paint. So I got me a couple of ideas already brewing in my head on how I want to do it. Probably, as always, oh, well, in case you missed it before, NorCal, I was talking about that earlier. Honestly, I'm not too concerned about a higher spring load on this grip, just because, kind of like the Alpha Trooper, it has a built-in lip back here. So, I mean, if you're wearing gloves, the grip's going to be fine. I'm sure somebody's definitely going to be 3D printing a replacement for this. So, I mean, I'd definitely be willing to give that a shot or try it out or whatnot. That's nice. Oh, let's see. Can I get this off without unscrewing the handle? Yeah, I'm not going to chance it. But once I get this opened, I am also going to be taking a look at some of the springs that I do have, which I have a few that I've pulled from different things that probably would work in here. The only other thing that I could think of is, I mean, everyone said the internals on this is pretty much a Chronos. So if that's the case, upgrade Chronos springs would probably work in this. So trying not to explode this on live. And did I miss one? Yes, I did. There we go. All right. So now, if you skipped ahead a little bit, for the sake of time, I've gone ahead and unscrewed this thing, and it's getting hung up on certain areas. So these are definitely long springs, and aha, that's why there's a yellow thing. There are yellow internals as well. I was not expecting that. So here we have the internals, which are very Jupiter-like. Looks like we have our catch, our yada yadas, and all that stuff. The safety there. Looks like this is the priming lock. So that will be coming out. I'm not 100% sure what that lock is for, so that's going to stay. And it looks like the shells do separate. So if you are going to paint this up, which more likely than not, grays, the blacks are going to go grays, the reds are going to go purples, and the oranges are going to go red on my takedown once I actually do paint it and it's warm enough to actually paint. You'll be able to actually do it very easily because it looks like everything with the shell will actually separate out. You got a couple of tabs here, don't see any glue, so that will be a plus. Just looks like the tabs may be a small bit of a pain in the ass to actually get out. But a little work and patience, they'll pay off definitely. So let's see what we can do without exploding this thing. So there's the catch right there. So the big yellow thing in the back here is that the catch? No, the catch is built into here. What the hell is that thing? Oh, that's just for the. Oh, that's this entire piece is actually just your D prime mechanism. So, but I really hope that wasn't important because that just went behind my workbench. Oh crap! I'm gonna be screwed if I need that, but I don't think so. I think that is literally just the slide lock. So, yeah, there's that. I'm gonna go get my box of springs and see what we can do here. Alrighty, let's see here. Yeah. I think this may have come out of my. I'll say I think this came out of the Liberator, because the Liberator now has either a piece of K25 or K26 in there, and it's still firing pretty well. I believe this is my K26. I don't want to put this in there just yet. Well, thankfully this did not explode, so there is that. Let's see, what in the wonderful world of arsenaling can I probably fit in here? Cheap spring. Oh, that's beefy. Maybe that might go in there. If I can fit it, maybe that might go in there. That's just a double spring if I'm not sure what. All right, well, we have two candidates that we're going to try and use right now. We have this spring and this spring. I'm 99% positive one of them came out of the Liberator. I'm not 100% sure which one is which, though. But both do have a bit of heft to them. So let's see what we can do here. Oh, oh, you sneaky little pain in the ass. All right, so that's going to be a bit of a pain because okay, so also like a Chronos, it's screwed. The priming handle is screwed in on both sides. I'm wondering why this thing was getting stuck. There we go. And come on. See, I could have went the easier route and just unscrewed this, but or said I did things the easy way. Okay, so I think this is the Liberator Spring, and this is the Unknown. So the Unknown will definitely fit, but it's not going to go all the way onto the plunger head because of the lift there. So The Liberator Spring will, but I'm wondering if it's actually better than what was already in there. So unfortunately, this spring is out. So I'll just put that to the side there. So now the question is, do I want to try and respring it or not? Hey, Matt. Glad you were able to make it. So, I don't know. Throw me a comment in the live chat. Should I try the newer spring, or should I just leave the spring that's in there for the time being? Because honestly, I'm not 100% sure. Because I think the Liberator Spring is a good spring. It looks like it has less coils, but it has about the same density. So, I wonder if there's anything I can that I could sleeve over, maybe. No. Oh, that could work. I just don't know if I'd get the compression on it. Liberator Spring may be weaker. K25 seems to work. Chronos. Oh, hey Ryan, glad you were. Oh wait, you were here earlier. I forgot I was talking to Deb. My mind is a little shut. I do have some K25 there. And it could work. That is that's awfully strong. You know what? Alright, so what we're going to do, guys, is this. We're going to do a little experimentation. I have my length of K25 right here. Now, it doesn't nest all the way in because of the raised areas. So we're going to give this a shot. So hopefully I don't destroy my Liberator on its inaugural night. Or not my Liberator, my Takedown. Wow. Oh, that's going to need a lot of pre-compression. So that one goes down there. This is the Liberator Spring, I'm fairly positive on. I put the... Oh, crap, I think I put the Takedown Spring back in the bin. Oh, here it is, right on top. Good. So there's the stock spring. So the stock spring, the Liberator Spring, this double spring of God only knows what. And right now we're going to try the K25. So going to take out the deep priming mech because it's just going to make life a little easier. I don't know, guys. I don't think this is gonna work right, but we'll give it a try in the name of science and stupidity. Oh, okay. This is not okay. This is not going to work. Either I have to cut some coils down on this thing, or something else has got to give. Hey Ted, nice to see you outside of APOC. Okay, I'd either have to cut a couple of coils off of this, or that's not going to work. So we'll try this monstrosity of a double spring. Well, All right, that's not going to work because it won't actually sit in there. So screw it. We'll try the Liberator Spring first. It's all about trial and error, boys. Trial and error. Well, at least this I could possibly get back together at least. I was trying to knock out, but unfortunately, it sounded like something was going to explode when I was doing it like that. That's why I said I have to take at least maybe 2 off of here, because the pre-compression just it didn't feel like it was working. Maybe I'll try that one last, but all right, this is going to be a lot of screws to put back together, so I'm going to make a judgment call and just keep some of the screws in. So, okay, so whatever fell out is what's staying out. Because if not, this video is going to, if not, we're going to be streaming for like 4 hours because this is just never going to end. So I know where these two go. Oh yeah, I think I got way more than 9 here. Was it 1, 2, 3? Yeah, I have almost like 14 coils there. It's definitely way too much for that, but I know when Xavier does his Can I Take a K26, he goes for, he tries to at least get the idea of what the length of the spring is, and then kind of goes from there. What is not? You pain in the ass. Okay. So, okay, so much like the Chronos, this thing has a bit of a bad habit of not closing properly because of these screws. I did screw that one back in. All right. No. Did that actually work? Yes. Haha, it did. Figured that out a little bit. So, not the most simplest thing to put back together, but so that should be enough for the inaugural test. Let's screw this back on. Yep, totally with it. I swear I can find the hole. I have 2 kids. There we go. not going to leave the ones in here out, because as long as it's attached to the slide, you're fine. Okay, so, oh, and for those wondering, all of the screws are the same length, except for two of them. This really, really long one is the one that's dead center right here, and this short one is right there on the rail. And okay, so there's that. Get back in there. So do have a wrap around. Honestly, it's firing about the same. So, or at least I feel it's about the same. So I think I may actually put the stock spring back into it. So until I can get around to actually chopping this thing up, I'm going to keep the stock spring in there. So now to reopen it, and this is why I only wanted to put like 3 screws back in. Yeah, honestly, Matt, that was one of the main selling points for me on this one, was the original like design of it and all, because it looked like they took the idea of a rough cut and just married it with the Reaper and Jupiter. So it definitely works out about that. About Pro RX Nerf tips in there. I mean, honestly, another like actual spring designed for this probably would work out a whole hell of a lot better. I mean, I'm just honestly working with what I have, which really ain't much, because mine's from old stripped down stuff that I've like gutted years ago and just basically threw it a bin hoping it would actually be better. In a sense, yes and no, because I did a quick little comparison with the Reaper earlier. It's internally, yeah, it is basically the Reaper, but it's actually smaller in size than the Reaper itself. So it is more compact, and I'll show it again since there are a few more people now watching. I'll redo the comparison to the actual Reaper again. Um, yeah, I'm wondering. There. You know what? I'm thinking. I don't know if this was the actual original spring that I just put back in here. I mean, it looked close enough, but crap. So one down. I think I know where it landed. Crap. Well, that didn't work. So the joy of opening up things and then screwing around with it when you're not 100% sure on how it's going to work. Now, why is this not seating right? There we go. Okay. All right, now we're back in business. Yay. So, let me just get this mostly buttoned up. Make sure it's working. And then I'll go back and grab my Reaper. Where the hell did that damn screw go? Son of a bitch. Ah, wait, I have something that can fix this. Where is it? Crap, it got buried. No. Ah, wait. No, that's old and rusted. Dang it. I'll find it eventually. So, just grab that one. Hey, Humley, glad you made it. Oh, that's a wrong hole. Again, I have children. I know I can find the hole. So, all right, so got that button up. You know what? Let me throw the one in the front here because as long as I can get this to work, I am definitely not reopening this stupid thing. Well, I shouldn't actually say this stupid thing because I'm honestly really liking it. So, really, you know, I should have grabbed my other screwdriver. I do have to say, if anyone is ever looking for a decent replacement screwdriver for your Nerfing stuff, I got this at Lowe's. It's their Cobalt line. It's just a little precision screwdriver set, and it comes with a whole bunch of different attachments. So you have Phillips, you have flatheads, you even have a couple of hexes as well in here. So yeah, you got a couple, well, not hexes, but a couple of star bits as well. So this is honestly a very nice little screwdriver kit. So if anyone's ever interested in replacing their stuff. Oh, come on, you pain in the ass. There we go. Alrighty, so I have completely locked this stupid thing up. Oh boy. Boy, boy. Why is this not running now? Something definitely did not seat right. But thankfully, hopefully I will not have to take the slide off of the other side because reasons. Yeah, reaching into, yeah, the deeper screw ports are a bit of a pain, but I mean, as long as they're wide enough and not too narrow, they're good. If not, whoops, there we go. That's what I have my trusty HDX one for. And it's also actually magnetized on the tip. So that actually does help out very nicely. Okay, I think I know what the problem is. Sorry, I put that one back in. I think this went too far forward, and that's what it's locking up on. Oh no, it hit the, that's, okay, so this yellow thing's coming out because that's what's actually causing it. So now it should be able to slide no problem. And I say no problem like it's going to be, but wait. That's the other problem. The plunger is upside down and backwards. So I'm SMRT. So therein lies another problem. It wasn't priming because it physically actually could not. So, all right, now that most of, I think actually all of the locks now are completely and totally taken out. Oh, probably, here you go. The half prime ratchet gear. Yep, that's what it was. Thank you, builder. So, and actually with that out of the way, this actually should be a much smoother primer now. A much smoother prime now. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And don't forget the screw to screw this back in. So, how are you liking Hypnos, Matt? Just out of curiosity, because, yep. Ah, damn it. Well, I got it priming, but now it is not catching. Ay vey. So, I had it right the first time. It was working well with the other spring. Why did I not just leave well enough alone? I'm gonna look back on this video when nicer weather comes, and I'm sitting here pinning this and trying to figure out why I had so much issues the first time around with this thing. And then as I open it up for the 90th time, I'm just gonna go, oh yeah, that's right. All right, so I think we've learned something here. And that lesson is, I think I grabbed the wrong spring. because for some reason this spring is not catching, and I don't know why. Experiment. Yes, experimenting is fun when it comes to modding, but the only thing is, though, when you think you just put everything back the way it should have been and it's not working, it gets a little frustrating. Okay, so did I put the spring back in here or not? Interesting. That. I think this is the one that I was going to use, but didn't fit. So, That's a Busby spring. This is, nope, that's 8 coils. That'd be too short. I already saw that one before, damn it. Alrighty, so I know this spring works, but I think that's a downgrade. Why is this not now catching? Alright, so this spring, this may have actually been the Liberator Spring, and I think you know, Builder, you live and you learn. It may be something I do going forward. Oh, wait. God damn it. Alright, I'm just a freaking moron. I had it in the right way beforehand because I'm like trying to figure out why is this not catching? Why is this not catching? It's definitely clearing. It catches on the upside. And I turned it the opposite way. So I don't even know how the hell I was actually making it through to begin with. But so this is where it kind of needs to get to. So let me try this one more time and not be a complete ass about it. If I can get this to catch, it's just got to figure it out. All right, so that caught. I'm going to take your guys' advice on it and just go with it. It's there. So let's see if we can get this to work now, because either I'm using the wrong spring, and by the gods we're going to get this to work, or I was an idiot and I turned the ledger upside down. I'm hoping it was just the fact that I was an idiot, because if so, this is going to be stupid. So that goes there. This goes there. Slide this back. Haha! By Joe, we got it to work again. So now we're just going to screw everything back together. I'll do a little recap against some of the other blasters, and then we might call it a night. Because I think I've embarrassed myself for quite a bit of time now. Also, leave a comment in the chat if you would like me to still do one of my proper review videos on this, just so we can have the overhead shots of the internals rather than like this kind of side view, so to speak. So if that is something you would like me to do, definitely let me know, and I will try and get one, do the review. Ooh, I wonder what was ordered from Foam Blast then. Although I'm honestly getting a little annoyed with Worker because I ordered something back in November, didn't ship until the 8th, or no, I'm sorry, it started shipping the 5th, and right now is somewhere in China limbo because it's at a facility and has been there since the 8th. Workers located in Hong Kong. Maybe, but they're still using China Post for it. And that is where my stuff is stuck at. So, I mean, it's not anything dire for, major projects. It's, I got a mag holder for my Talon mags for End War, and I got that new little hammer shot knife bayonet thing because it seriously looked like super badass and I really wanted it. Chinese government's taking the nerfs. They're taking all the nerfs. But I do have to say they did respond back because it was supposed to be delivered the 18th, and one of the representatives from Worker, a lady by the name of Vicky, she did message me back and told me that because of holiday and the high shipping season, so to speak, things may be delayed, and it could take anywhere from now 7 to 15 business days for it to actually leave the country. And that's just kind of like one of those damn moments. All right, so we've taken apart the takedown, and we've taken down the takedown. And you broke a Powerball. How did you break it? If you broke it in half, there's not much I can do for you. I'm sorry. But I actually left the lock in place. Why, I don't know. And honestly, I'm not worried about the hole left by removing this thing. There's enough holes in there where it's going to find a way in one way or another. But we have all the locks removed, and now this thing works very nicely. So last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my Liberator and also my Reaper shotgun once more, just to do a quick little overview comparison thing. I do have the X-Shot Orbit, but that is in a bin somewhere, and I really don't feel like moving everything for it. Okay. I apologize if I mispronounce this, but Ashcraft, if you would like to put into the live chat what exactly happened to your Powerball, there are plenty of knowledgeable guys in the chat right now that could definitely help troubleshoot you, and if not, I'll take a shot at it as well. I kind of know what I'm doing. I've been doing this long enough. I can fake it. But so we have the Reaper, and we have the Liberator. So first things first is a size comparison, and Takedown's definitely going to be the shortest here. So it's definitely your most compact one. If you're going for a grip style, the Reaper and Takedown definitely have a much more similar sawed-off handle as opposed to the Liberator, which is a pistol grip. Reaper is a pullback, where these two are pump grips. I think I could squeeze 10 in here. These two both hold 8. Reaper and Takedown do look very similar, but there are definitely enough differences between the shells to hold a difference. Obviously, this is a standout, so you can loading and feature-wise, other than the pump grip, it's basically a little bit of a different beast. So I'm going to put this aside and just do a comparison on these two. So, or once again, a little comparison on these two. So the Reaper shotgun is on the bit of the larger size. As I had mentioned earlier, it's at least a good inch longer and about half an inch or so wider than the Takedown. Let's see what else. Honestly, comfort-wise, they're about the same. I would give it more to the Takedown than I would the Reaper shotgun, just because the little cutout you have in the Reaper handle here, I can definitely see it getting a little bit on the nerves a bit. So I could see why that wouldn't be the most comfortable thing to hold constantly on and on. You also do have the pullback here as opposed to the pump grip, but honestly, it's the same priming neck. The only difference is this screws into a piece in the front, and this basically screwed into a piece in the back there. Actually, they are also similar in a few other ways as well. If you notice here, your depriming issue is about the same thing, is in the same place. Your safety switch isn't a different one. This is here for the Reaper. On the Takedown, it's obviously on the other side. You also both have this huge support screw right in the dead center of it. I did remember Captain Xavier saying something about... Oh, no, that was on the McCree blaster. I'm sorry, never mind. I was about to talk out of my butt and say something incorrect, but over and all, though, obviously, given between the two, if you're a huge Overwatch fan, obviously you're going to buy this, because Reaper is my main in Overwatch, which is why I got all of the Reaper blasters when I did when Target had their sale. Plus, also, I have a cosplay build that I'm going to be starting next year that is going to be part Reaper, part Death from Darksiders. So I definitely needed a couple of the shotguns to definitely work on. But I gotta say, I'm really actually impressed with this thing. I really do like it. Wow, you got an 18 kilogram spring into a Powerball builder? That's impressive. Yeah, like I said, short of that thing like just cracking in half, I don't know what would have broken in order to, kind of fix it. So, but getting back to it, I really do like the Takedown. The handle is extremely comfortable. It really is. It's very nice. The aesthetics of it are, again, super nice. It is very reminiscent of the Reaper, but it does also distinguish itself enough to be different. Like, you have tack rails on here, so you could use the red dot sight if you wanted to. I really don't know why this was included, other than maybe for the screw post. But yeah, this piece really has no bearing on the blaster whatsoever. It doesn't even make a good iron sight. Once you get the locks taken out of this thing, it primes very smooth, very easily, no problems. And even if you do get a stronger spring in it, I don't foresee this grip being that big of a problem, unless your hands you get some moisture on your hands or whatever, and it just winds up slipping. No, Reaper does not have the Reaper shotguns do not have a pump grip in game. He basically just fires the shots out and then just drops them. So it's almost the way not a Benelli. I forgot which one it is, but it's basically you just pull the triggers and it fires off. And for any kind of cosmetics, this is going to paint up nice because you have basically a blank canvas for these things, whether you get it in red or blue. The most you have to do is just sand off Rival there. I would maybe rough up the really smooth plastic, which is this section down, and also this little strip right here. But just so it takes paint a little better. But yeah, it's blank enough to where if you paint it in a solid color with a little bit of detail work, it's going to look good. Or it's actually sectioned off enough to where you could do this. If you had the time and patience, you could do this thing up really, really pretty. I'm actually looking at this and thinking of a couple of ways of how I could. And I mean, not just in my normal coloring, but maybe even picking up a third one and just maybe dolling it up and, I don't know, putting it up for a sale. Maybe that one will come with me to End War and I'll put it up at a booth or something, or if anyone just wants it. Obviously for money, I'm not going to give it away. Or who knows, depending on how the year treats me. Maybe it'll just be a nice little giveaway for all the thanks and the dedication of my wonderful fans here. But yeah, this is definitely going to be a must-buy. If you can't get your hands on a Liberator, definitely get this. It's maybe an extra $2 over it, but I have a feeling this will be a lot more easy to come by than waiting for it to just show up on. Oh yeah, this thing you can definitely holster it. This is honestly, it's about the. It is a pump action mare leg. You can holster this very easily. A little bit longer holster, yeah, you can definitely do it. But